Alright. Hello everybody, it is I, Granorite, and here we are back with another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Emerald with our Gen 3 type challenge of Bug type, our fourth and final Bug type team, which is going to be Parasect, Ninjask, Heracross, Beedrill, and Armaldo. So as we do in this first episode, we're going to start out by looking at our Pokemon, reading some Pokemon biologies. We'll get them up to level 7, and then we're going to get the Rustboro, and we're going to play this episode until we get our Beedrill. So, Paras has Effect Spore for its ability. Decent stats, has Scratch right now. What do we know about Paras? Paras is a medium fast leveling rate Pokemon. Paras is an orange insectoid Pokemon that resembles the nymph stage of a cicada. Its ovid body is segmented and it has 3 pairs of legs. The foremost pair of legs is the largest and has sharp claws at the tips. There are 5 specks on its forehead and 3 teeth on either side of its mouth. It has circular eyes with large pseudopupils. Red and yellow mushrooms known as Tochukaso grow on this Pokemon's back. The mushrooms can be removed at any time and grow from spores that are doused on this Pokemon's back at birth by the mushroom on its mother's back. Tochukaso are parasitic in nature, drawing their nutrients from the host Paras's body in order to grow and exerting some command over the Pokemon's actions. For example, Paras drains nutrients from tree roots due to the commands from the mushrooms. And the mushrooms are also popular among collectors and have medicinal uses, usually involving extended life. Prior to Generation 3, Spore was Paras' signature move. Paras can often be found in caves. However, it can also thrive in damp forests. In the Alola region, the mushrooms on its back do not grow well. This is thought to be from a lack of moisture or nutrients. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Paras, Ruby and Sapphire say, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald all say, Paras has parasitic mushrooms growing on its back called Tochukasu. They grow large by drawing nutrients from this buggrass Pokemon's host. They are highly valued as medicine for extending life. Fire Red says, growing out of this bug's back are mushrooms called Tochukaso. Apologize. The mushrooms grow with the bug host. And Leaf Green says, burrow to sucks tree roots. The mushrooms on its back grow by drawing nutrients from its bug host. Next we have Nincada. I think for the final time that we're going to be using it. It has compound eyes for its ability. Good defense here. No scratch, hardened leech life at level 5. An erratic leveling rate Pokemon, which means it's going to be slow up to level 20 and then it'll speed up. Nincada is a small, whitish insectoid Pokemon. It has a pointed snout, a thin stripe that dips in a V-shaped pattern between its eyes, and 2 whisker-like antennae on its face. Its eyes are black with green iris-like rings inside, as it is virtually blind. It uses its antenna to sense its surroundings. On its back is a pair of small green wings, and its hind legs are white, but the forelegs are brown and have sharp claws. The claws are used to carve into the roots of trees and absorb moisture and nutrients. Nincada builds underground nests at the roots of trees in tropical temperate forests. It can occasionally live up to 10 years underground. It does not like sunlight, so it avoids it. Nincada is nearly blind due to living almost entirely underground. As such, it uses its antenna to see instead. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Nincada. Ruby says Nincada lives underground for many years in complete darkness. This Pokemon absorbs nutrients from the tree roots. It stays motionless as it waits for evolution. Sapphire says Nincada lives underground. It uses its sharp claws to carve the roots of trees and absorb moisture and nutrients. This Pokemon can't withstand bright sunlight, so it avoids it. Emerald says it makes its nest at the roots of a mighty tree. Using its whisker-like antenna, it probes its surroundings in the pitch-black darkness of soil. And Fire Red and Leaf Green says because it lived almost entirely underground, it is nearly blind, it uses its antenna instead. Next we have Heracross, which has Swarm for its ability. Good stats because it is a single evolution Pokemon. Knows Tackle and Leer. It is a slow leveling rate Pokemon, probably going to be the MVP of the team. Heracross is a bipedal coleopteran insectoid Pokemon discovered in a blue exoskeleton. There's a long pronged horn on its forehead. The horn ends in a cross on males and a heart shape on females. Alright, sorry. A heart shape on females. On either side of the horn is a short antenna with a spherical tip. Heracross has oval yellow eyes. Its forearms have a pair of spikes near the wrist, while its thighs have a single spike each. It has 2 claws on its hands, a single claw on each foot. There's a single pair of wings covered by Elytra, which can be seen during the release from the Pokeball in the 3D games. Heracross's claws allow it to dig into the ground for sturdy footing, and also allow it to climb trees. Using its horn, it throws opponents or competitors for food. It can lift and throw objects 100 times its own weight. It uses its 2 antennae to search for food by scent. As mentioned in Pokemon Sleep, Heracross is known to occasionally sleep while licking the sap it finds. The reason is due to Heracross becoming exhausted from a potentially hard search for sweet sap. It lives in boreal and temperate and tropical forests where it feeds on sap. In Generation 2, Mega Horn was its signature move. As seen in Pokemon the Series episode of Sappy Ending, Heracross has been known to compete with Pokemon such as Pinsir for food. The same episode also shows Heracross allowing Butterfree to feed on tree sap after Heracross has finished its meal. In addition, it is shown to suck sap from grass-type Pokemon such as Bulbasaur. In Alola, Heracross get along better with Pinsir, as they both have rivalries with Vikavolt. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Heracross. Ruby says Heracross charges in a straight line at its foe, slips beneath the foe's grasp, and then scoops up and hurls the opponent with its mighty horn. This Pokemon even has enough power to topple a massive tree. Sapphire says Heracross has sharp claws on its feet. These are planted firmly into the ground or the bark of a tree, giving the Pokemon a secure and solid footing to forcefully fling away foes with its proud horn. Emerald says they gather in forests seeking the sweet sap of trees. It is completely clad in a steel hard shell. It is proud of its horn, which it uses to fling foes. Fire Red says usually docile, but if disturbed while sipping honey, it chases the intruder with its horn. And Leaf Green says this powerful Pokemon thrusts its prize horn under its enemy's belly, then lifts and throws them. Next we have Weedle, has Shield Dust for its ability. Currently knows Poison, Sting, and String Shot. Weedle is a medium fast leveling rate Pokemon. Weedle is a larval insect Pokemon with a segmented body ranging in color from yellow to reddish-brown. Each segment of its body is a sphere, and it has a bulbous red nose, 2 small black eyes on its face, and 2 spherical feet on each body segment. The combination of red and yellow in its color scheme creates a bright warning to predators that it is poisonous. Weedle has a conical 2-inch or 5 centimeter venomous stinger on its head, and a barbed one on its tail. Weedle can retaliate against attackers and those who step on it with its strong toxin. It can distinguish its favorite kind of leaves using its acute sense of smell. As a young bug-type Pokemon, its daily appetite for leaves matches its weight. Weedle can be found in temperate forest and usually hide in grass, bushes, and under the leaves they eat. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Weedle, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald all say Weedle has an extremely acute sense of smell. It is capable of distinguishing its favorite kind of leaves from those it dislikes by sniffing it with its big red proboscis or nose. Fire Red says often found in forests and grasslands. It has a sharp toxic barb of around 2 inches on top of its head. And Leaf Green says often found in forests eating leaves. It has a sharp stinger on its head that injects poison. And last but not least, we have Anorith, which has battle armor for its ability, so it cannot be hit by critical hits. Good stats, no scratch right now. Anorith is an erratic leveling rate Pokemon, as well as Nincada. Anorith is a greenish-gray arthropod Pokemon that resembles an Anomalocaris. A stalk extends from either side of its head with large spherical eyes at the tips. The middle of its head is black with 2 red teardrop-shaped markings, and an X-shaped mouth is visible on the underside of its torso. Beneath its head are 2 large segmented claws that serve as weapons and are used to capture prey. On each side of its body are 4 white appendages with red tips, and these wing-like projections are used to propel Anorith through the water. Now extinct in the wild, it lived in the seas in ancient times 100 million years ago. While still extinct, it has been seen under the ownership of trainers as a result of being revived from claw fossils. Despite this, Anorith can no longer thrive in today's oceans because the water composition has changed since ancient times. Anorith can swim easily through seas using its 8 wings like oars from a boat. Anorith is considered an ancestor of modern bug Pokemon. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Anorith. Ruby says Anorith was regenerated from a prehistoric fossil. This primitive Pokemon once lived in warm seas. It grips its prey firmly between its 2 large claws. Sapphire says Anorith is said to be a type of Pokemon predecessor with 8 wings at the side of its body. This Pokemon swam in the primordial sea by undulating these 8 wings. Emerald says it was resurrected from a fossil using the power of science. It swims by undulating the 8 wings at its side. There were feet that adapted to life in the sea. And Fire Red and Leaf Green says it is a kind of Pokemon progenitor. It uses its extending claws to catch prey, hiding among rocks on the sea floor. Alright, and now we are ready to start knocking our way up to level 7. We'll start off with Paris, since it's up front. Paris wants special attack and special defense. So we're looking for Lotads and Ralts. If we can stop getting flinched, this would go a lot faster. Go away. Couldn't even run away from it while it was asleep, which is ridiculous to me. There's level 6. It'd be nice if we could find a Ralts. Hey, there you go. Of course, we get poisoned. By our own effect spore that was copied. Excellent. Good morning, Krishinabon. How are you? I've noticed that you like Pokemon. I'm really good with designing. Thanks, Krishinabon. Were you here in the Assassin's Creed when I had a person coming in and asking about stuff too? Ooh, actual defense. That's what we want for Anorith. You saw the chat for it. Gotcha. It's very tiring, you know. Anorith wants HP and defense, so we're gonna make it real defensive. You just finished your UK work meeting? Gotcha. Well, we are knocking up some grass Pokemon. Bug Pokemon. What am I saying? We're not knocking, we're leveling up. We're working up. We're not knocking up. Got the best bug, Gen 1 bug Pokemon of all time, Beedrill. You know, Beedrill actually gets decent in the newer games. Speaking correctly is hard. Yeah, you're telling me. It has gotten better with each gen. I agree. It was very bad in Gen 1. another Seedot. What do you know? You did use it a lot with your teams. You did like it. You know, I thought it was pretty good too. I thought that Twin Needle wasn't that bad of an attack. I know it's not amazing, but it's not horrible. Oh, do I have stuff I can throw on the ground in here that I need to? Yeah, I gotta get rid of these. It was one of the early game Pokemon that was good in the beginning because it but became weak by the time you finished Erica's gem. Yeah. Yeah, it did. Just a second. Come on, Anorith. Where did all the Wurmples go? There we go. Hooray! We're gonna do Weedle last since it's gonna evolve. Alright, so Heracross wants attack and defense. So we're looking for Poochyenas and Seedots that we probably won't find. So really just Poochyenas. Oh, we got Horn Attack. Forgot that it learns it so quickly at level 6. It's wonderful. Now we're just gonna wreck everything. This team is going to take forever to level up, though, just because we have 1 slow and 2 erratic leveling rate Pokemon. That just means they're going to level up very slow at the beginning of the game. Alright, and Nincada wants attack and special defense. Gosh, all the Ralts now, jeez. Good deal. We're gonna be a half an hour to this episode before we even start moving towards Rustboro. Oh, I've got no more leech seeds. Or leech lives. Hooray! Alright, and then Weedle wants attack and speed. So Poochyanas and Zigzagoons. How do you think this team will do late game? That is, I don't know. I mean, Heracross and Armaldo are pretty good Pokemon. The only things I'm really concerned about for this team are Skarmory and Metagross. I think we'll do fine against most other stuff. Because we'll have decent moves by then to be able to take care of most things. I don't know. There are some things I think we'll struggle with, but I think we'll do okay. We're going to have Bulk Up on Heracross, and we're going to have Ancient Power on Anorith, so we'll have the ability to potentially sweep on our two really good Pokemon. You got two good Pokemon, two decent ones, and then Beedrill. I don't know if Ninjask is a decent Pokemon. Maybe. And Beedrill's not horrible. We can teach it Sludge Bomb and Brick Break, so... Just Glass Cannon-y. We have two Glass Cannon Pokemon. For sure. It did almost single-handedly take down one of your teams. That is true. There was that one playthrough where we almost lost to that Ninjask because it was able to set up with accuracy-reducing moves and then Swords Dances. And then all those speed boosts that it naturally gets. Parasect is just way too slow. It is way too slow. You are correct. That is the downfall for Parasect. Hooray! Evolution! Kakuna. Alright, and here's our new Kakuna, which gets shed skin for its ability. I do like the glow it does, because it always talks about it getting hot and everything. What do we know about Kakuna? Kakuna is a yellow insect cocoon-like Pokemon. Kakuna has a dome-shaped head and black triangular eyes with glowing white pupils. It has two scythe-like arms in the middle of its body. When it comes close to evolving, its body gives off heat that makes it warm to the touch. Kakuna remains virtually immobile and waits for evolution, often hanging from tree branches by long strands of silk. When attacked, however, it can extend its poison barbs. The Kakuna nests in temperate forest and misty wooded areas. Occasionally, it will also nest at the tunnels of caves, as seen in Pokemon Snap. Too slow with too many vulnerabilities. That is true for Parasect. Our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Kakuna, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald all say Kakuna remains virtually immobile as it clings to a tree. However, on the inside it is extremely busy as it prepares for its coming evolution. This is evident by how hot the shell becomes to the touch. Fire Red says this Pokemon is in a temporary stage while making its body. It is almost completely unable to move on its own. And Leaf Green says almost incapable of moving, this Pokemon can only harden its shell to protect itself when it is in danger. And it is time for us to get out of here. Let's use Nincada in this first fight. After we go heal Kakuna. Oh, look, a bot. Look at that bot. It's very bot-like. We're going to get into this fight, and then I'm going to report it. Cleansing Twitch, one bot at a time. Leech Life. Do you want to hear movesets, Krishinabon? Since you're here. Yes, you do. Alright, so Beedrill. Beedrill, we got Twin Needle, Sludge Bomb, Brick Break, and Double Team. Parasect is going to have Leech Life, Spore, Secret Power, and Giga Drain. Heracross is going to have Mega Horn, Bulk Up, Brick Break, and Return. Ninjask is going to have Fury Cutter, Aerial Ace, Swords Dance, and Double Team. And Armaldo is going to have Fury Cutter, Ancient Power, Earthquake, and Metal Claw. That is the plan, at least. Thank you. I thought so as well. Ski Ratch. So, I mean, I really think that, yeah, Anorith, Armaldo, and Heracross are going to be MVPs for this team. I think the other Pokemon will have their times that they'll shine. But otherwise, it's really going to be those two. Alright, let's swap Kakuna up. Let's harden a little bit. Parasect was a funny Gen 1 Pokemon as it got both Swords Dance and Growth, so it could be a good with either attack, but it's bad type combo and really slow speed. It couldn't do much setting up. It always would get hit at least once before it could use Spore. That is true. That is true. Alright, Talo. We could go down to this. All depends on how many pecks it uses. Which right now it's content just growling us, so we've set up the poison. We've already got, what, 3 hardens on? So as long as it doesn't... The word I'm not going to say, because the game will hear me and then do it. Okay, as long as it didn't crit us, we're okay. Let's go heal, because we want to use Kakuna against this next Zigzagoon as well. So we have reached the point, Krishinabon, now, though, that half of our remaining playthroughs are water type. Because we haven't touched water type yet. Once. We have 18 playthroughs remaining, and 9 of them are all going to be water type. Anorith for the Shroomish. Good deal. Alright, we've made it to Petalburg, where we'll let Wally go catch this Pokemon. Or maybe Krishinabon had to go to an ad or something. He's not in the chat anymore. Or he's yelling at his kids. Option 2. Did you hear what I said about the water playthroughs, though, Krishinabon? Still have to do them all. 50%. 50% of our remaining playthroughs are all going to be water type. We have 9 water, 4 normal, and 5 flying. If that sounds right. Like, all of them are on those... The game is rigged, so you'll do all the water at the end. That'd be pretty funny. Good critical. Hopefully poison the Magikarp, this will go a little faster. Alright, let's go heal Kakuna before we go fight this Zigzagoon. Yep, we're down to just 3 types left. Water, flying, normal. The 3 biggest ones. Alright, we want to poison this thing as quick as possible. That was quick as possible. Then we're going to do a few tackles, a few hardens, because this thing was going to try to tail whip us. We're at 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. Now she heals it. Now we need to poison it again, which we did. 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4. Should be good enough to get this thing down now. The game is listening to me. But it's listening to me in a positive way for once. That usually doesn't happen. Alright, let's swap Anorith up. Remember, we're just using Kakuna a lot because we want to evolve it on screen in this episode into a Beedrill. Good critical. I wonder how devastating it is to be a Pokemon trader and have your Pokemon beat by Kakuna. I mean, I don't know. Probably pretty devastating. Isn't it supposed to just harden? All right. Swap Kakuna up again. Must have been the worst pincer of all time. There's a poison. Hasn't used Howl yet, so... Oh, there it does. Poison's gonna take it down, though. Woo! That hurt. Alright, we're gonna swap up Nincada here. We'll do this fight, and then we're gonna go heal again. I don't want to actually fight with you. I just want you to get a couple defense stat, because we're gonna use you in the double battle coming up. Got beat by a Pokemon that can't move and didn't do anything. Also got beat by a Bulbasaur with Vine Whip and a resist move. Yeah, you are absolutely right. We'll just leave Heracross out now. All right. So let's go back and heal again. So then we can go take on the other Zigzagoon. Every time I tried to beat any other Pokemon would just harden, I would just get beat really easy. Oh yeah? Gotta work to that struggle. Hope you have enough potions. Take on the Poochyena, because I probably need to take on another one just to make sure we get to 10. Just beat up trainers in this area and take all their full restores. Yep. Pretty much. Alright. You give us Bullet Seed. Can Paris learn Bullet Seed? It can! That's an early grass move for us. That's pretty nice. Say it's not good with the amount of Zigzagoons don't need it. Alright, we need to swap Anorith up here to start off this fight. This is the emote for when you use the repel. Shroomish goes to Anorith. Alright, let's swap Nincada up with Anorith. Let's just beat up on this C-Dot. With my bugs! That's pretty nice. Alright, C-Dot down! Just us and Lotad now. Alright. Last trainer. I'm just gonna Poison Sting through these Magikarps. And then I gotta go fight stuff to get Kakuna up to level 10. Heal, get cut. All right, swap up Kakuna. See if we can just find us a quick like Poochyena fight. Didn't quite do it. One more. How in the world is Parasect an Aerial Ace? That's a good question. I did not know it learned Aerial Ace. Right. Weedle obtained. You were checking its moves. Gotcha. And we got Fury Attack. All right. So let's take a look here at Weedle and then read its Pokemon biology to end up this episode. I mean, it gets a good boost to stats, all things considered. What do we know about Weedle? Weedle is an insect Pokemon which mostly resembles a bipedal yellow wasp. However, it only has 4 legs instead of 6 and lacks pigment pits. Weedle's head is round with a slightly pointed mouth, large red eyes, and a black antenna with a sharp bend in the middle. Its 4 legs are tipped with long conical stingers. It stands on its other 2 legs, which are long, segmented, and insectoid in shape. Weedle has 2 pairs of rounded veined wings and another stinger on its yellow and black striped abdomen. It also learns Psybeam via breeding because it has psychic, buggy, grassy powers for some reason. Interesting. The abdominal stinger contains Weedle's most potent poison. Weedle is a highly territorial, and unlike real wasp and bees, Weedle are not confirmed to live in true hives, as they work together to solve basic problems regarding food, territory, and reproduction without any confirmation there is a singular breeding pair or queen. As seen in the Pokemon the Series episode Challenge of the Samurai, Beedrill seems to be especially concerned with the welfare of Weedle and Kakuna, responding aggressively to those that disturb them. Disturbing one Beedrill will cause the whole group to attack. It flies at high speed and attacks using the large venomous stingers on its forelegs and abdomen. It will then take the victims of its attack back to its nest for food. Beedrill nest in temperate forests and misty wooded areas. It is known to collect pollen, which Teddiursa combines with fruits to concoct honey. In the 12th chapter of the Pokemon Adventures, Beedrill is shown living in groups or packs and producing honey. Prior to Generation 5, Twin Needle was its signature move. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Beedrill, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald all say Beedrill is an extremely territorial. No one should ever approach its nest. This is for their own safety. If angered, they will attack it in a furious swarm. Yeah, I'm sure Misty does love that. Fire Red says may appear in a swarm, flies at violent speeds, all the while stabbing with its toxic stinger on its rear. And Leaf Green says it flies at high speed and attacks using the large venomous stingers on its forelegs and tail. Alright, and that's going to conclude our episode for today. We do hope you all have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. We will be back on Monday with more Pokemon. Until then, we will see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend, Crescendo Bond.